Now that we have a way to trigger the transition between the worlds manually, we can start off implementing some mechanics. One cool such mechanic would be to stop and start time, right? When you jump into another timeline, you just stop the time, and when you jump back into that to your default world, you just start the time again. Or as an ability, you literally just stop and start the time. We can go about doing it in multiple ways. One would be just customize the interface, the face cube, for instance, that we had before. Make a similar one, which implements the interface. But I'm going to go ahead and show you another way we can do this, and that is by subclassing the world entity. And I'm going to call this one actor component freeze time. Doing it the other way with the interface, we have to implement a lot of things ourselves, but with this, we already have a number of functions already implemented by the base class, and all we need to do is just implement the activate entity and the deactivate entity. And in this case, I will get the owner. Oops. Get owner. And from here, we want to set the custom time dilation. In the activation, we want this to be at 1. And in the second one, we want it to be 0. So when we deactivate the object, the actor that has this component, our new component, will be frozen in time. And when we activate it, it just goes back as if it were before. Now we could fire up events and things like that. And we can also right click here, add the call to parent. And when we do that, we get the default behavior, which disable the component itself. But for now, this will suffice. All we need is the thing to be frozen in time. And I'm going to go ahead and create, another actor using a blueprint here. And I'm going to call this projectile, time projectile. And the time projectile will have a sphere. I'm going to make the sphere a bit smaller, 0.25 maybe. Actually, I'm going to squish it a bit, 0.15. There we go. And I'm going to add the freeze time component that we just created. Again, we are not going to implement the OtherWorld starting world and worlds this actor exists in. Instead, I'm just going to drag and drop it here. And make sure that we set these properties here. So when it exists in A, when you transition into world A, it gets activated. When we transition from A to another world, this projectile will be deactivated. And in our case, since we made sure that we deactivate and freeze the projectile, it will be frozen in time. All we need now is just to rotate this. Let's put it here. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and add a projectile movement here so that we can see what actually happens. And we can see the effect of it. I'm going to set this initial world to 300, and I'm going to make it so that it snaps to the horizontal line. It's just constrained. I am going to squish it a bit here as well in the Y direction. There you go, so that it looks like a projectile. And that should be it. So we should now be able to see this one move forward, as you can see. And when we stop time, we get a frozen in time projectile. You could imagine this being part of a cube. Let's do another one. I am going to make a copy of this BP moving platform. And instead of having a projectile movement, I am going to have a rotating movement. And instead of a sphere, I am going to have a cube. And this cube will be a bit squished. Let's make it a bit bigger. There we go. So this one here will rotate. You know what? I am going to make it this way instead. And the rotation will be in the z-axis. Let's do it a bit quicker. Let's say 720 degrees for the rotation rate. And since we have a freeze time component here, this should also be stopped within time when we trigger the ability. And that means we also need to set this up. So when we're in world A, it starts, it is moving, and when it's in world B, it stops moving. Oh, that was a bit quick. But if I freeze the time now, you can see this platform is now frozen in time. Whee!